Stocks drift ahead of further trade talks with China. Stocks have fluctuated Monday as investors looked ahead to a key meeting between President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping at this week's upcoming G20 summit. The Dow was up 40 points, buoyed by United Technologies. The S&P Dow member United Technologies rose 1% after an analyst at Cowen upgraded the stock to outperform from market perform. Dear shares, Trump and Xi are expected to discuss the ongoing trade war between the US and China at the summit, which is set to start Friday. Investors are hoping what we probably see is them having talks about trade. Perhaps the market, China and the US have slapped tariffs on billions of dollars worth of their goods over the past year. Last month, financial markets welcomed the announcement that a full-blown standalone US-China bilateral meeting would be held in the margins of the annual G20 summit, said Christopher Granville, Managing Director of Global Political Research at TS Lombard, in a note. That was an understanding. Judging by the more conciliatory tone from both Washington and Beijing last week, the likely optics of the Trump-Xi talks will resemble the previous G20 meeting in Buenos Aires last December, he said. Back then, the supplied the impetus to launch a new series of negotiations, with an agreement to refrain from further tariff hikes or other punitive action for the following 3 months while the talks proceeded. Trade optimism helped spark a massive rally this month. The major indexes, equities have also been boosted by the prospects of easier monetary policy from the Federal Reserve. Last week, in corporate news, Caesars Entertainment shares surged 14% after the casino operator agreed to be bought out by Eldorado Resorts for more than $17 billion, including debt. CNBC's Sylvia Amaro contributed to this report.